with some a couple of carriers to get them down into the skin. Stemoxyl is our stem cell proteins. It is hyaluronic acid, and it is a specific ingredient that we have in our product, which comes from the Kona coffee tree. And it's the highest botanical extract ORAC rating in the world for anything we know of botanically. The flesh of the Kona coffee cherry has an ORAC rating that is far, far above the acai berry, and of course that's far, far above the blueberry and all of these other high antioxidant foods. And we just had a latest clinical lab report from our antioxidant product, our coffee cherry, which put in an ORAC rating per 100 grams of, what was it, 250,000? 250,000, which is pretty incredible. The closest that we know of to that per 100 grams rating is the acai berry at about 16,000. So that the potential for free radical protection from that particular botanical antioxidants and natural antioxidants in nature, it's not synthetic. The potential for that is extremely high in terms of killing free radicals. So stemoxyl is sort of our core ingredient. Okay, so you want to know mainly, okay, am I putting stem cells? Is there somebody's stem cells going on my skin? What's going on here? The fact is there are no stem cells in the product. And if there were, if you know about skin, they're too big to penetrate the skin anyway, if you were to try to put an actual stem cell on your skin. There are some products out there who claim stem cells, and most of them are based on plant stem cells. There's a couple that are based on animals, one a rabbit, and I believe sheep is the other. And these products are available, but they're not built in any science underneath them. You go and take a look at the science that says a plant stem cell can help your skin regenerate faster or better. And there's nothing underneath that, and the same with the animal tissues and cells. But your body, all your life, any time that your skin has been under distress, either a bad cut, a burn, or anything else, your body has a store in its bone marrow of mesenchymal stem cells. And those stem cells are there to allow all the structural components of your body to reproduce and regenerate when there's a distress situation. For bone, for muscle, for cartilage, for skin, for neuron tissue, nerve tissue, all these things. The particular job of the mesenchymal stem cell in your body is to regenerate all of those structural components when they get into stress. And so what happens is that when you get, let's say you cut your arm, and there's an immediate sensing through the neural network that you've cut your arm, and the autonomic system sends a message to your bone marrow saying, we need stem cells here. We need stem cells. And so the blood rushes stem cells to that area, and they orchestrate the healing process. All that goes on in that healing process, they orchestrate it. And you'll notice as you get older and older, it takes you longer to heal from a particular thing. When you were 10 years old and cut yourself, you'd be healed in 4 days. And when you're 50 years old, it takes 10 days for that same healing process to happen. The reason why is you have a certain number of stem cells in your bone marrow, and the body uses them up as distress happens over your years of life. And by the time you hit 50, the typical rule of thumb is you have about 2% left of what you had when you were just a child. So the body is not going to use stem cells It's not going to waste them on skin wrinkling or skin issues. It's not going to do that. It's going to save those stem cells for important things. And so you begin to lose the healing power of the mesenchymal stem cell as you age. So how do we find a way to duplicate the body's process? That was our question when we looked at how to do this. We know the science of the structural stem cells in your body. We know how they work. To an extent, we know how they work. We know what they do. So we ask ourselves, how can we do the same things? How can we sort of mimic what that stem cell is doing when it's sent to the stress areas? We spent a long time in research on this. As Rob mentioned, we had some very key medical researchers involved in looking at this problem. One of them was a former founder of Novacell, which is one of the early stem cell corporations in the United States. And they found a way. They found a way to take those important signaling messenger proteins that the stem cell uses to orchestrate healing and distress. They found a way to take those proteins and harness the power of those proteins and put them in an actual skin care product. And that's what we're talking about here. No one else has this. We are currently doing it very secretly as a trade secret. We are in the midst of patent work on it. Patent work. We're being very careful about right now. We're being careful not to release a lot of information on this at the moment. But the key is we found out how to do it. We are putting a fairly significant concentration of these proteins in our product as an active. And then we found some excellent carrier, natural carriers to carry them down into the skin so they get down into the lower levels. As we've talked about here, we want to increase the basal layer stem cell production. How do we do that? The signaling proteins tell the basal layer, you got to get producing here. If we're in distress, get going. Let's go. Let's produce more. Let's get going. So it actually causes a production of increased basal layer, or of increased keratin cells from the basal layer. So what does that do? Well, it means new skin, faster, thicker skin. I'm 67 years old next month. I had thin skin in certain parts, right up here especially. I had towel off from a shower. I could almost bleed from the thinness. I don't have that problem anymore. My skin has thickened up. I can see it and realize that it's happened. Also, it builds new collagen, not by injection, by using the natural process of the body to tell the fibroblasts to get producing more. You're slowing down. Let's get going. Let's produce more. And so it gets the fibroblasts working as well to do that.